Perfect. So the reason I wanted to have this call tonight is to really teach each and every single person here the value of being able to close a loss and the importance of managing your trades. It is very easy to close profit, okay, because there's very little to think about. But the hardest thing to do is to close a losing trade. And I know the feeling because I've been there. And I want you guys to know that I started from exactly the same place that many of you may be starting at today or recently. And I'm going to show you guys something that I think is going to blow your mind when you see it and give you a completely different perspective on the way in which you're thinking. In trading, there is a saying called best loser wins. I never used to understand it. How can a loser win? The reason in trading why best loser wins is because you have had an ability to cut your loss and you live to fight another day and you can make that loss back and grow your account from there. When it comes to trading gold, if you are not using a stop loss, and I want you guys to understand the term stop loss, okay? Just work with me on this one, okay? Stop loss. It means that you stop the loss. You stop the bleeding, okay? SL, stop loss. Stop the loss. If you do not use a stop loss, you cannot stop the loss and you will end up losing your entire account, okay? It's so simple, but really think about it. Stop loss, okay? Stop the loss. If you don't use a stop loss, you are going to lose your entire account. Now, here's the catch with gold trading. 9 times out of 10, when you don't have a stop loss, gold will be kind enough to return back to your original entry and give you profit, okay? But the 10th time, gold will be brutal and it will take off 500, 700, 900 or 2,000 pips and it will completely burn your account because you did not stop the loss, okay? And this is something that I want to talk to you about on this call because the reality is anyone who's lost significant money, it was nothing to do with the stop loss. It's about your risk management, the lot size that you're using and how you managed the trade when it was happening. Now, today I closed $3,500 worth of losing trades in a zone that failed and a signal that hit stop loss, okay? Now, someone said to me, it's easy for you because you're using big order sizes, okay? Because I finished my day in $6,500 profit. Now, I didn't use any different order size to what I've been using all day. But someone said, it's easy for you. You're using big order sizes. So even if you lose a big amount, you can make a big amount back. And I completely understand where that person is coming from. And that's why I wanted to show you guys something, okay? And you guys, this is crazy what I'm about to show you guys. I airdropped some screenshots from WhatsApp in 2020 when I started trading, okay? Everyone here will be very familiar with Ish, okay? Ishaq Hassan. I live with Ish, okay? We are business partners. We live in the same villa. I have known Ish since 2014, okay? 12 years ago is when I met Ish, when me and him used to work together in a sales company. Now, Ish is the person who introduced me to trading in 2020. Okay, so in 2020, Ish introduced me to trading. 6 years ago, almost to the day. Now, as you guys can see in this screenshot, you can see the date at the top, 9th of March, 2020. He was guiding me how to deposit money into the account. So as you guys can see, he said, okay, go to deposit money. I've said, cool, that's deposited. I put my money in, okay? Let me show you guys what happened next. Let me go to the next screenshot. Okay, so here is the next screenshot where I am struggling to find my money. I said it's all on zero at the minute. Who can relate when you guys tried to log into MetaTrader and you put the password wrong and you guys couldn't see your balance? I said, not sure if I need to wait for something, okay? I started from the beginning. I didn't start from where I am now. Let me show you guys next, okay? Then we started entering trades, okay? My account balance is $500, okay? And I started opening trades on 0.01. My first trade, I made £3.12. I was selling AUD CAD. This is the 10th of March, 2020. This is now the next day, okay? Let me show you guys the next screenshot. Here is my overall account balance, just so that you guys know that I am not lying. My account balance was £500. As you guys can see, I'm trading a 0.01 on AUD CAD in 2020 in March. Okay, let me guys show you the next screenshot. This is where it's all going to start to make a lot of sense, okay? Look at this. Look at this. Share screen. Boom, boom, boom. I was in a gold trade, okay? Look at the price of gold, 1,661. When we tell you guys that we have been trading gold since it was back at this price, we're not making it up. We're not telling you guys because it sounds cool to say. We're telling it because this was real life. I was in two gold cells, 0.05 and 0.03. Look at this. I was £65 up and I've said I'm gassed, which means excited. On the 10th of March, 2020, I was so excited. It's just guiding me on a voice note. He said, well done, bro. I said, wow, I'm so excited. I am £65 up. I was doing a 0.05 and a 0.03. So when people say to me, oh, it's different for you. No, it's not. It's no different. I started from the beginning. 6 years ago in 2020, I didn't start with the account balance I had now. I went through blood, sweat, and tears, blowing accounts. I was so excited to make £65. Who do you think you are to say that £65 is not worth it? Do you know how excited I was in 2020 to make £65? And just so you guys know, for those of you that don't know me, prior to trading, I was a qualified medical doctor working in accident and emergency in Northwest Manchester. Okay, I went to university for 7 years. The point I'm making is I already had a good career, but to make £65 from clicking buttons, I was so excited. I was like, man, this is crazy. But some of you have got ahead of yourselves. All of a sudden, 30, 40, £50 is not enough. Now I understand, because you're seeing screenshots of £1,000 a day, £2,000 a day, £5,000 a day, but you're not seeing the losses that people make, and you don't have an account balance like them. So when we're talking about the zones and the scalping group, and you're saying, yeah, but £4 is not worth it, who do you think you are? You have a £500 account balance. You can't say it's not worth it. You have to go through the process. You can't skip. I was so excited in 2020 to make £65. I was so excited. Now today, I'm making £5,000 a day with no stress. But that's 6 years. You can't skip the process. The reality is we could end the training here. The message is simple. You're either going to stick it out or you're not. You can't skip the process. You can't say it's not worth it for me. You know, I just want to be making the big money or whatever the case may be. We were trading gold at $1,500. We were trading Bitcoin at $8,000. We were using 0.03, 0.05, and we were so excited. Now people are saying, do you think we had a zones group or 3 to 4 Zoom calls a week? We didn't have nothing. We didn't have any of this. Now we have a zones group where you are getting 20 plus on a normal day gold scalps. The problem you have is that you are refusing to take a loss. It doesn't work like that. Gold will punish you. Stop loss. Stop the loss. Stop loss. You guys are trading with no stop loss. And trading with no stop loss is one thing, but you have to be willing to press the button that says close loss. Okay? It is so important. So let's go into the information that I actually wanted to share with you guys today. Okay? But I thought it was so important to set the context because someone said to me, yeah, but it's worth it for you. It's not worth it for me. No, you can't say that. I went through the process. I was doing 0.03 in 2020. I went through everything. I was losing money left, right, and center. I blew accounts. I gave up on trading gold for 6 months, a year. I came back. I gave up again. I came back. You can't skip the process. So look, I want to talk to you guys about the scalping group. Now, number one, I said it on Sunday. I'm going to say it again. We are scalping gold, okay? The targets are not designed for you to say, I'm holding till then. The targets are for us to measure our performance so that in 6 months' time, we have data where we can look back and say, okay, 70% of these trades traveled 60 pips. 50% of these trades traveled 70 pips. They're not there for you to say, well, I'm holding until target 2 and that's it. No, this is scalping gold, okay? 30 pips, 40 pips. If it's filled the zone, take the money, okay? Now, remember, you must layer and you must be layering 20 pips apart, okay? It's so important. Wow, is this where gold is now? Woo, interesting. Wow, okay, that's crazy. Anyway, let's say, for example, okay, that we were entering a gold buy now in the zones chat, okay? Let's say the message said, buy zone now. Your first entry is at 51.85. You cannot enter again until 53.87, which is 83, which is 20 pips. Your next entry should be 81, okay? These are your entries, 20 pips apart. And then what do? You wait, okay? Now, target 1, yes, is going to be at 87, but you wait. So if you guys want to practice this now and do a 0.01 where you don't care about losing money, then buy it now, okay? There's no analysis behind this, so I'm not held responsible for nothing. 0.01 is not going to kill you. So the invalid zone, let's say that it's at, I don't know, 78. Now this entry has been triggered. So when it goes back to this line, okay, you're now in profit. You could close it now. Yes, if you're using a 0.01, it's not going to be life-changing money. I get it, okay? I understand. So this first line was the entry, okay? This blue one here, this is the entry. This green one is target 1, okay? And these are the areas where you enter the trade if price touches it, okay? So boom, there you go, target 1 hit. Target 1 hit, okay? You made money, congratulations, well done, move on to the next one. Do you re-enter the zone again? No, don't re-enter the zone again. Do not. Okay, there's no need. So if it had come back down, we enter again here, we enter again here, okay? We enter again here, or that's the stop loss. So no, you enter these ones, okay? When it comes back, okay, when it comes back, you close all. So let me just delete this and draw it again for you guys so it makes sense. Delete this one. Perfect. This one doesn't want to go. Anyway, let's change this to red because this is the invalid zone. Okay, so you guys understand this one here. Okay, perfect. So you enter once, twice, third time. When it comes back up, you close all. Don't wait, okay? Do not wait for all your entries to be blue. It's dumb. When you see overall profit, just close it, okay? Typically, you're going to see overall profit when the first entry is in a small loss. That means your two other entries are going to be in a big win. Close the money, okay? Very, very simple. Close the money. That's it. Now, if the trader is on the call, okay, let me just ask. Just bear with me, guys. I'm going to get the next buy zone so that I can potentially give it to you guys on the call. Just wait there. All right, so the next buy zone is around 82 to 78. Okay, so let's delete all of this stuff out. Okay, the next buy zone is 82 to 78 if it comes in. And if you guys have the ability to manage your risk and you don't have no emotion, then you can jump into this zone, okay? And it's either going to win or it's not. And we move on to the next one. So 82 to 78 is the buy zone, okay? So we can potentially get in this right now together live. Okay, so your first entry is going to be at 82. Your second entry is going to be at 80. And your third entry is going to be at 78. Okay, so these are the zones. This is where you want to enter the trade. Your invalid / SL should be at 77. Okay, 77. That should be it. So these are your entries, 78, 80, and 82. They're spaced out apart nicely. It may not happen, and if it doesn't, it's okay. But if you see price come to here, then you can enter, okay? This is one of the buy zones of 15 to 20 to 25 that we'll put out in any single day. So if it hits stop loss, it's okay. Just close it, take the loss, and move on to the next. What you categorically cannot do is hold on to losing trades, okay? Because you don't know how far it's going to go. And if it hurts you, it's really going to hurt. The best thing that you can do is take the loss and you can move on. And you will make the money back if you continue to use the same lot sizes, the same risk management, and approach every single trade the same way. Okay, now, unfortunately, this one fell 10 pips short and it went 30 plus pips in profit. So if any of you guys jumped in early, you made money, but it was just a little bit short, which is a shame, but it's okay. Now, what I want to talk to you guys about is specifically how to manage, okay, how to manage when a zone comes and a signal comes just after, okay? Now, today at 10:05, we had a zone come, which was buy zone now, okay? And it was around 51.88 to 51.83. Okay, and then at 10:16, we had a signal come out that was XAUUSD buy now. Okay, XAUUSD buy now, and I believe it was at 51, maybe 82 or something like that. Okay, and I want to talk to you guys about what to do and how to manage this situation. Okay, because it's very, very important. Now, I'm going to go back on TradingView to when this actually happened. Okay, so here we go. I'm keeping an eye on the price. So if it does come in, I will see it, and maybe it will even go in the group if our trader is on and he's listening to the call. If not, it's okay. Let's pay attention. So this was the exact place, okay, where the buy zone came out, okay, here. Now, as you guys can see, it was invalid at 82, and the buy zone for the signal, or the entry for the signal, was 81.50 to 77.50, okay? Now, there are three options or numerous options that you guys can take when a buy zone comes out and then a signal comes out and you are still in the buy zone. Now, option number one, you close the zone in a loss, okay? Best loser wins, you close the zone and you move on. Option number two is you hold it, but you extend the stop loss in line with the signal, okay? So what that means is that, let's say, for example, that the invalidation zone or stop loss is 82, okay? If you decide that you want to hold it and you are happy to lose more, okay? Sounds crazy when you say it, happy to risk losing more. Then you change the stop loss to this, but it's another 80 pips. And because it's another 80 pips, do not re-enter the signal, because then all you are doing is you are maximizing your exposure, okay? All you are doing is you are maximizing your risk exposure. Option number three is a complete no. Holding the zone and entering the signal is extremely risky. Scalping gold is already high risk. If you refuse to use a stop loss, you are taking a high risk strategy and then you are doing something that is extremely more risky. Okay, so you are now at double insane risk, because gold nowadays, when it decides to, it will take off 500, 700, 1,000 pips, just like it did here, okay? Here, it was 10.05, okay? In fact, we entered up here at 88. 88 is here, okay? 88 is here. You guys can see gold went to 55. That's 300 pips. These are 1 minute candles, which means this is 30 minutes. 30 minutes, 300 pips. Now, it doesn't matter who you are, what order size you're using, 90% chance, okay, that you would have blown your account if you are holding this trade, okay? Because very few trading accounts are going to be able to sustain 300 pips, okay? So the answer is take a loss. If you look at the statistics in the zones group, okay, on a typical day, we are sending between 18 and 22. This week, we've had a little bit less because of market conditions. When we are sending 18 to 22, 90% of them are hitting target one, which means that they are traveling at least 20 pips, but the majority of the time, they fill the zone. So it's anywhere between 50 to 100 pips, okay? Now, 2 to 3 are invalid, which means that they have hit the stop loss zone, okay? Which is completely fine. There is no way that you should not be making money unless you are refusing to take losses, okay? Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. Just looking at the price over there, if it comes down, 82 is not going to be valid anymore. Do not enter this at 82, okay? If you feel the need to enter it, then it's going to be, I'd say, 75 to 72, okay? Do not enter at 82 or 78, okay? 78 to 75. If you guys really feel the need, 78 to 75. Do not enter at 82. It's no longer valid. It pushed up 100 pips. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, you have to take a loss. It is the most important thing. Don't have ego and think that you can hold trades and that you're going to survive. 9 times out of 10, you will. 9 times out of 10, when you hold a trade, it will come back to where you need it to. It might even give you profit, but the 10th time, it will really punish you and it will really hurt and you will lose your entire account size, okay? I've been there. I showed you guys since 2020, I was struggling to put money in my trading account. My friend showed me how, okay? I've experienced everything that you guys have. I was so excited to make £65. I went through more ups and downs in 6 years than you can remember. Most people will quit. Okay. Now, yes, I can make 5,000, 10,000 days. Okay. If I go into my profits for this week, and I'm not showing you guys to boast, I'm following the Zones group and I'm doing the same thing that I'm teaching you guys to do. Okay. If I go on my custom report and I look from the 23rd till right now, I've made $21,167. Okay. I'm not telling you guys fake numbers or trying to impress you guys. This is the reality. Okay. Since Monday, I've made 21,167 from the scalping group with the signals, doing the same thing here, taking losses, cutting losses like I showed you today, and going through the process. Okay. But I'm layering at this. I'm approaching every trade exactly the same. Okay. Without emotion, layering exactly how it is there. Okay. So this one just came down. Did it touch 78? Oh, nearly. Let me just have a look and see what's happening. 82. Okay. So yeah, if it did come down, and trust me, we get just as frustrated. Look, it missed our zone by what? 10 pips, and now it's 50 pips in profit. Okay. 60 pips in profit, 70 pips in profit. It's crazy. This is how quickly the zones move. Look, it literally touched that area and ping. Look how close it was to the price that we wanted. And even if we did take 82, it will still be in profit. So what I will say is, guys, we're not making these zones up. Like, we're not plucking them out the sky. Okay. We know what we're doing. Your job is to enter every single trade consistently with the same strategy without emotion. Okay. Let me run through some of the questions in the chat. I'm going to choose ones that I think are going to be valuable to everyone. When I get the opportunity to layer in the ones that go straight to ZB, can you give another example? What is your account size now? Because people, my account balance is 100K. Okay, it's $100,000. So I'm making 5%. And that's the thing, you know, the secret to trading is having a big enough account balance that you can make money that's worth it. Until then, you fall in love with the process and you learn. Okay, there's lots of questions here, so I'm trying to go through this. When you see it in a valid zone manually. Yes, so I close the trade manually, okay? When I'm uncomfortable, okay, this is a really good question. Someone said, I've lost this week and now I don't feel confident in the trade and myself. How do you overcome this? Okay, the reality is you use a lot size that you're comfortable with. Typically, when you lose confidence, it's because you're using order sizes that you are uncomfortable with. And you are probably falling into the category of someone who seems to take all the trades that lose and miss all the trades that win. Okay, you have to pick yourself up and you have to go again. Very good question, this one. How many pips do you aim to take from a trade? This is such a good question. The answer is, I do not care. I am interested in profit. I do not care about pips, especially in the scalping group. I couldn't give a damn about pips. I'm there to make money. I don't care about target one. Let me tell you guys something. Do you know how many times I usually hit target one? Never. I make the money in the zone, okay? And if it flies up to target one, amazing. If not, I'm already out. I don't care about target one. I'm here to make money. So if it goes to target 1, 2, 3, brilliant. If it happens quick, great. I'm not hanging around. I make my money, I'm in, and then I'm out. Okay. What percentage do you take profits at? Guys, I close all at once. If I'm in the scalping group and I see profit, I press the button that says close all. Okay. When layering 3 positions, which trade do you leave? The best or the worst? I take everything. I don't leave anything in. The scalping group, I am in and I am out. I have other things to do. I'm there to make money. I just want to get in get out. I take my money and then I go. Man, what a banger of a zone that was, by the way. If anyone jumped in, 100 pips up. So I hope someone took it. 45, 25, 7-minute trade. Okay, this is a really, really good question that someone asked, and a few people have asked this. So some people are saying, how many trades does it take in order to recover a losing trade? Okay, the answer for that, okay, for me is around 3. Okay, in the zones group, if I lose, it takes me around 3 trades to win the money back. Okay, if you are finding that it's taking you more than that, then it is down to the entries and your risk management. Okay, I can almost guarantee that you are not layering as accurately as you think you are. That is the answer to the question. That's probably the most important and relevant question that someone has asked. They have said that it's taking them 6 or 7 trades to make a loss back. The reason is I can almost guarantee you are not entering every trade the same with no emotion. I'll give you an example, okay? And I did this the other day. Let's say that this is the market here right now, what you see in the middle, okay? Now, this button here at the top with the shapes, very, very important. This button here makes me my money. Forget about buy and sell. This button here, this is the money maker for me. Do you know why? Because it brings up the shapes. The shapes are crucial to my success in layering, okay? Because what I do is I use the horizontal line, okay? Let me just find the rest of these pictures. Oh, you cannot minimize when you're recording. Let me just find the rest of these pictures so I can show you guys. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure I click on the right one in case I had some crazy pictures inside my gallery. So let me find the button, the magic button. This is the button that makes me most of my money, okay? Because you guys think that you're layering accurately. I can almost guarantee you're not. So this screen here, objects. This object here is where I make my money, okay? This thing here, it is solely responsible for the money I make. Do you know why? Because it allows me to layer accurately. So let's say that I enter at 5107.86. For the sake of argument, let's just call it 5108. My next entry is not going to be till 10. Okay, I am entering again if the price touches that line. I'm not entering here. I'm not entering here. I'm only entering if the price touches that line. Then I am in again. Why? Because that is exactly 20 pips. Then I am drawing more lines. Okay, I'm drawing more lines. And my next entry, let me get rid of this thing. I don't know what's going on here. My next entry, okay, is going to be 12. I've drawn the next horizontal line on the screen. 12, okay? And if I was doing a fourth, which I don't do, I only enter 3, then it will be at 14, but you guys get the point, okay? 10 and 12. So my entries are 8, 10, and 12. It is critical that your layers are spaced out the same way, because if they're not, then you are going to say, it is taking me way too long. Because on the losing trades, what you're doing is you are doing your first entry after 6 pips, the next one 8 pips, the next one. So you've got 7 entries in a losing trade, and in a winning trade, maybe you've got 3. That is the reason why. If you are layering pinpoint accuracy like this, and you are taking the stop loss, then you will make your money back in 3 zones, okay? And then when price does this and it comes back down, okay, I am out the trade, okay? I'm not hanging around. I'm not waiting. By this point, I've made money. I'm happy. I'm gone. I'm taking my money and I wait for the next one, okay? I'm going to try and go through some more questions, but most of these I have already answered on a previous call, okay? And I would love, there's over 100 questions right now, just so that you guys know. So, you know, sometimes the price moves crazy quick to be able to mark it out. What do we do in this case? Well, look, we've already told you guys in advance, you know, we might say potential sell zone or potential buy zone. So I know in my head, okay, mark out these zones, mark out a few, and then I'm ready. Someone asked another very good question, which I think everyone is actually getting hung up on. This is possibly, again, one of the most important questions. And I think everyone is getting hung up on this. Do you want to know the question? How many pips are you happy with? Do you want to know the answer? I could not care less. You know why? Pips don't pay my bills. Profits is what pays my bills. I care about the blue number at the top of MT5. That is it. I don't care about pips. I don't care. I care about the blue number at the top. That is it. This is a scalping group. It's about quick in, out. If it goes boom, 50 pips, amazing, close, okay? But apart from that, I don't care about, who cares? Guys, who cares about pips? I care about the blue number at the top. The only time I care about pips is layering, 20 pips, 20 pips, 20 pips. That's the only time I care. Apart from that, I don't care, okay? If you're struggling and you're unsure, very simple. Put a stop loss in place and just use one entry, okay? But in order to have success in this group, you're going to have to get familiar with layering. Now, the last thing I want to leave you guys with, I want to leave you guys with something that you can take into tomorrow, okay? Because the reality is this. Everyone is so calm. They're so composed on the call, okay? They're asking brilliant questions, okay? Very well put together, high-level questions, really good vocabulary. You're really expressing yourself and you're speaking great. The minute a trade comes in, you turn into a demon, okay? The minute you press buy or sell, you are on demon time, okay? You turn into a gremlin. How do I know that you do it? Because I do the same thing. I can't sit still when I'm in a trade, just so you guys know. For anyone that's around me in real life, if any of you guys find yourself in Dubai, go down to Business Bay to a shisha cafe called FOMO. When I am in a trade, I am doing laps of that shisha cafe. I've probably done 40,000 steps today, okay? I could be sitting with Ish and with Blakey and with anyone. Buy zone now, I'm off. I'm gone. I can't sit still, okay? That's the reality. Oh, the buy zone came in. 70, okay, the buy zone came in, guys. So if anyone is in, let's do this in real time. All right, so it hasn't hit the second area yet. Okay, so it's 78 was the entry, which was here. Okay, so right now you're 15 pips up. You could have taken money there if you wanted it, okay? Target one is going to be 80. Target one is going to be 80. So the first entry came in at 78. Okay, the invalid zone is going to be at 71-ish. Okay, so 73 is going to be the second entry. 78, 76, and 74. Okay, those are going to be the entries. The invalid is going to be around 72. Now, regardless of the outcome of this trade, okay, whether it wins or loses, it does not matter. It's about the process, okay? Leave the overall, managing of the trades and all that to us. You guys don't need to worry, okay? Target one hit, let's go, boom. Okay, target one smashed, target two smashed, live on the call. I feel like Ish. Is this what Ish feels like when he's calling out winning trades on the call? Wow, this is a good feeling. No wonder he's on the call with you guys for so long. I feel like Ish right now. I'm making people money. Would you guys look at that? Target two smashed. Woo, let's go. Everyone make money. All right. So had the trade had gone to this zone, which is 76, I would have entered again. Okay. By the way, this is invalid now. Do not enter this now. It's done. That reaction is what we wanted. 78 to 82, 40 pips, okay? As you guys grow your account and you get a good account balance, 40 pips, just so that you guys know, okay? Hedge fund managers that are managing 10 million, 50 million, $100 million, if you could offer them 40 pips a day, they would snap your arm off. You would be a legend in the financial market if you could deliver 40 pips a day, okay? Because that is all they need to make good money. So this is no longer valid, by the way. This zone, it's done, it's over. Don't enter again. 40 pips, that was the reaction that we wanted. Scalping, we are scalping gold. 40 pips is a respectable gold scalp, okay? There was opportunity to make money, okay? Now, going back to what I was saying, if there was one thing that I want you guys to take from tomorrow, okay, from today into tomorrow, if you see a zone and you are still in the zone and a signal comes out, guys, if you're not sure what to do, just don't enter the signal. Just wait, close the zone and wait. It's okay. Don't get yourself in a crazy situation. Just close the loss. If it hits the invalid zone, close the loss. Just wait. Don't enter the signal. Okay, just wait. That's the only thing I want you to take into tomorrow if you don't feel confident. Okay, that's the only thing I want you guys to do. Oh, this is why, and this is why. Okay, so the next zone was 72 to 68, by the way. So 72 to 68. Okay, that is why the zone is not valid anymore. We got the reaction we wanted and we were waiting for the next zone. Okay, the next zone was 72 to 68. Okay, so don't enter this now, by the way, but I'm just showing you guys. So 72 to 68. So it would have been, okay, target one was just hit at 74. Okay, but yeah, do not enter. So it would have been 72, 70, and then 68 would have been the final entry. And then the SL/invalid would have been around something like 67. Okay, so in this scenario, let's say all three entries were fulfilled. Okay, all three entries were fulfilled. The red line is the SL. Okay, so if it hits that, you're out the trade. Very, very simple. Okay, it already hit target one and it did it so quick. Okay, and I'm glad it did it that quick because it shows you guys just how quick sometimes you have to be. Okay, that's what it shows you. So that was target one hit. Let's say that it didn't hit. Then in this scenario, you're in at 72, you're in at 70, you're in at 68. And if it hits the 68 is here, by the way, 68. And if it then hits the invalid, you're out the trade and you wait for the next one. Very, very simple. Okay, you're out the trade and you wait for the next one. That's it. That's all you have to do. You take the loss. Okay, you take the loss. And if it was to ping back up, then you close all. That's it. You close all. When you see your profit, you take it. Okay, it is honestly as simple as that. There's really nothing else to it. Okay, so if this one now went up to around here, you're in profit. Okay, you're in profit and you just take it. You just take the money and you go. So this is a really good example. Okay, so it filled the entire zone. Okay, and if this one was to now break this price, okay, now it's in profit there, right there. Close all right now, you're in profit. Close all right now, in profit. And look how quickly it can happen. Okay, up here, everything was in profit. Close all right now. Let's go. You guys see that? Boom. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens right there. Oh my days. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. But look how quickly it happened. It's not waiting for you. You cannot make this up. Look at that. You cannot make this up. And that is why having a fixed stop loss can mess you up, because if you had a fixed stop loss, you would have hit it right there. Okay, but if you didn't, bam, all three entries in crazy profit. This is like 100+ pips combined. You made money. All right, guys. it's the perfect scenario, man. Perfect scenario. So let's wrap it up. I'm going to post the recording when I can. And I'll see you guys when I see you.